put you where you'll be. Is it weird the way that I look? Like,
so this is the funny thing. I never look at the. I know we're live right now, probably, but I don't look at the live version of you. I look at the tape delay version of you that's broadcasting, which completely screws me up. So,
I have we are live because I can hear the window talking and I gotta mute it. Where is it? Here it is.
Oh my goodness.
There we go. I don't want to hear my voice.
Let's go.
And here we are, sort of getting back to the groove. Welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us. Whoever's here, I see Michael Beckerman and Ronan. Thank you guys for joining us. I appreciate it.
Fellas? Yep.
Those of you who are new, this is Sony After Hours support, but it's not after hours, so it's sort of an extra bit because we do a live show every month. And this we're trying to do weekly during the day to catch a different group of people. Purpose here, of course, is to listen and just talk about cool Sony stuff, share some insights, and if you have any questions about your Sony product, we'll do our best to support. My name is Derek, and with me is the other
Larry.
guy.
How you doing? Yeah, this guy.
Yeah. That guy. I don't know where he is on the screen. Somewhere. Anyway. I'm to your left, if you're keeping track. Okay. So if I point that way.
Yeah, and if I point that way,
that would be like behind you. Anyway, if you are seeing this when it is not live, feel free to put comments in as well, and we'll do our best to answer those. I know I had to make you answer some last week while we were out, so thank you for doing that. I appreciate that.
It was a carefully crafted, gentle nudge. You were like, "Hey, if you're not doing anything and you're bored,
why not?"
Yeah, I tried, and then I realized how much I admire what you do because it is exhausting. Yes,
it's a lot, but I do it for the people, not for myself. So, so we got Will Tech here. Welcome back, CS. Thank you. Yes, we're trying to catch up on everything. That was a lot. And Jamie, I love when these pop up by surprise. Well, surprise, here we are, and on time ish. But Larry and I were just talking a little bit like, should we be setting this precedent that we'll be on time more frequently? We are going to do our best. I will say that much. But let's get to a couple of questions. No promises that we'll do it, but we're going to try. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Let's dive in.
Let's dive into a couple questions, and I'll kind of let you kind of start with this one. I'll share, and I'll share the question, and I'll answer it as well too. But sure. Michael Beckerman asks, what are your main takeaways from CES 2025? What did you like most of the show? What interesting things did you learn? And what surprised or excited you the most? That's a lot of questions in there, but you can make it kind of short and sweet.
Yeah. Fortunately, I was only there for like all of 24 hours. So unfortunately, so I don't have a ton. What I'm most excited about is how we're continuing our quest to innovate from a content creation standpoint, right? So I think what we showed with respect to spatial content creation, from both the software standpoint as well as a capturing standpoint, with the Xyn technology, XYN, really, really excited about that. Truthfully and fully transparently, having a chance to read everything that's going on, it was informative from the standpoint for you and I, Derek, to start working on what messaging looks like and how we deliver some key points with respect to some other categories a little bit later this year. So those are my two things. You had a lot going on, so I'd like to hear what was most interesting.
Man, so here's the thing. Like, our experience at CES is probably not like you imagine it to be. I see FOMO in there be a post-CES recovery. You're absolutely right. But, we don't get to do, I wanted to say fun. Hopefully FOMO, hopefully you had fun, because I know you were very much in a rush when we crossed paths, going to meetings and doing all this stuff. And, you get access to a lot of different things. Mm-hmm. I'm in the Sony booth all day, so I actually get 15 minutes to explore the show, which didn't really get me very far because it's like a 5-minute walk just to some of the other bigger booths. But so I can't really share anything about that. But I think I agree in like Sony really is doing a lot more way beyond what we actually see as consumers.
Right.
And I think sometimes that gets forgotten because that all does translate out into why we do what we do. Why is it so important that we, control the processor? Because ultimately that's what's going to determine what your image is going to look like on your TV. But by understanding what the creators are trying to do and helping them innovate and do things more efficiently, more effectively, in a more creative way, I think that's a big deal. But I get it, because I did have a lot of people that signed up for like a tour, talked to some people, and they're like, "Where's the TVs? Where's the headphones?" It's like,
yeah.
So, it's a different type of experience, but it is an awesome show. And honestly, it's the people is great too. Seeing all the creators, the amazing people in the industry, people that are well beyond my knowledge capability. So,
yeah, I'd love to see us bring back some products, if not even just products, maybe innovation within a product line. I'd love to see that. I know, fortunate enough, Derek, I think you probably had the meeting, the post CES meeting, where there's a debrief. I know John has had that meeting. He's like, what would you like to see different next year at CES? Some of that kind of debrief that hopefully makes its way back to Tokyo, that can sort of add a little bit more to the show. That's just my honest take. So
I agree. I think it'd be cool because I do think, well, Sony does do so much in the world of innovation around home entertainment, but I think as in history, it's not like we've really been like, "Wow, look at us," and scream it from the mountaintop really as much as some of the competitors do. So sometimes things kind of fly under the radar or get missed. But
yeah, and I know we don't have to stay on this topic, any longer, but it just hit me right now. I feel pretty dumb that I haven't thought of it this way. With a lot of manufacturers, their consumer product line is their largest business segment, right? But when you look at Sony Group as a global company, if you look at our consumer electronics catalog compared to, like, let's say, the sister companies or everything under the Sony Group umbrella, whether it's Sony Music, Sony Pictures, gaming acquisitions such as Crunchyroll and all that, like, the electronics element is actually a smaller part of our portfolio, not less important. I just want to make sure I'm not. So that does also create a difference in what's presented at a global show such as CES, right? That it's very interesting. I don't know why that's the first time I've thought of that. So anyway,
congratulations.
I had a thought.
A new thought. Yay. I knew you could do it.
Oh man, I'm so proud of myself.
Michael Beckerman also asks, it is a question. A major Chinese competitor announced a less expensive, smaller version of the theater quad at the show. Do you think Sony might release a more affordable, smaller quad system in response to that? So obviously, I don't know what the plans are. What I see, and you can obviously add some context to it, Larry, the direction that Sony goes is not in response to who's doing what. I feel like it's always in response to what do the creators need and how do we deliver that effectively to consumers. I totally understand that it is awesome to see incredible products at a cheaper price. Generally speaking, you get what you pay for. Generally, not always the case, but I think Sony would hold a certain standard that they'd be like, well, if we drop below this line, then we're not giving the full experience we intend to. So is it worth it? So that's my interpretation, but I could be wrong.
It's so funny that you say that. And Mr. Beckerman, if you look at the order that you place the descriptive terms, less expensive, smaller, in none of those two things are we talking about more immersion, better sound quality, or anything like that, which almost unknowingly you sort of have drawn a line, the difference between Sony's design and product development philosophy versus maybe someone else, right? I think we've led the way with the HTA9 and now the quad as far as that sort of system. And now, if you're a competitor, and again, not taking shots, and I'm not trying to speak against or ill or disparage another competitor, but you'd be hard pressed to compete with Sony with respect to sound quality because of our legacy and what we do. So your alternative is to make something smaller and make something less expensive, because when you're buying something less expensive, your expectations are also a bit lower. So will we go into that space? I don't know. It would take engineering for us to do so, because we will not build a product for size accommodations, if you will, unless it meets our high standard of audio excellence. And I think that that is why we don't, right? Like, and I've asked this in trainings and stuff like that. Is Sony capable of building a smaller, more affordable quad? Of course, that's easy. But at what risk to our audio legacy and reputation? And I don't think that that's, you have to draw a line of how far you're willing to sacrifice what you do as a brand, especially when it comes to your image and what you're known for. So maybe, but we will have to get smaller. I mean, hell, the quads took 2.5 years of development to create 3 of the 4 speaker elements within each speaker, for it to go from the cylinder shape, for it to go to the small, square shape. So that took some time in itself. So hopefully that is helpful.
Yeah, definitely. A couple of things I want to get to really quickly. One, I'm trying to remember last week. Yeah, that was last week. CES. Wow. I don't know. Time is an illusion. Anyway, DS has a question here. While on the quads, any update to the Voice Zoom 3 issue on the A95L? It doesn't work with pass-through enabled, but it does work with auto set and the audio options on the TV. I'm thinking I need to test a few things with that. I got to move some stuff around, but I might be able to kind of test and see. I believe you had emailed about that, if I'm not mistaken, but I haven't heard any specific updates on some of those initial questions. I don't recall a difference between the pass-through and auto set. So maybe I'm thinking of something else, but correct me if I'm wrong. But also, if we did talk over email, please send me another email, and I will look into that again today. The second one I want to jump to, Will Tech says, I was so disappointed here that Sony was giving up on QD OLED in your last live stream. I can't believe Sony is going back to inferior tech after award winnings of your for your QD.
Did I say that?
What was said about that? I actually don't remember that.
I remember someone asking, look, it's I'll just say it like this. I remember us trying to be baited into giving some additional information about our 2025, product line whenever that happens. Yeah. I have not confirmed or denied that. Let me just be clear. I have not confirmed or denied that. So
yeah.
I would wait.
I don't recall. Yeah, I don't recall where that would have come from. But yeah, we need to wait and see what happens. But we're not making any official statements on anything coming forward. That's something that is happening or that is not happening.
Right.
At this time.
There,
so just to be clear. So
hang in there. Yep.
Hang in there for sure. Let's see. I skipped a question though to get to that. European speaker maker announced a new soundbar that incorporates the same beam-forming tech used inside the Sphere. Do you think this is catching on, being brought to other home audio products soon? Beamforming for audio purposes is very situational, I guess I would say. Maybe in the future, but it would require, I think, a lot more tech involved, and it would be extremely expensive at first to happen. So I don't see that anytime in the near future, personally.
Yeah.
But I could be wrong. We'll see. Let's see. Where are we at now?
And let me just say this. I'm sorry, Derek. Let me just... The thing that manufacturers love so much about CES, and FOMO for being so in the chat also, but the thing that is like manufacturers in CES is they can announce all of this tech, and until it's actually tested, reviewed, and compared, it's really pretty much on a piece of paper that allow us to sort of imagine the best possible outcome. This is absolutely the record, okay? I will always wait and see what the execution is like, because so much of audio distribution of sound, one part is hardware, but man, digital processing and psychoacoustics, if you're playing audio out there. So acoustics is such a massive part to play, especially on sound bar, going from based audio, delivering it to sort of a horizontal spray. It'll be I love innovation and how it pushes the entry goal, but we still have to give it the ear test to see if the pretty words match or if the great sound matches the pretty words. So stand by.
Yeah, that is always the question. And like, I love seeing cool, innovative tech. And, you know, sometimes we get I don't think that's really going to be happening anytime soon, let alone maybe be practical for the average consumer like myself. I am a very average consumer. Yeah, I was going to look at something there, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see what time gives us in the future. So,
I mean, if you go back to
really hard,
if you go back to 2020, now I'm going to take a shot. Sorry, they can take the jab. If you go back to 2020 or 2021 and thought, man, in 2025, I would have a roll down foldable OLED in my living room because that's what was discussed and shown 4 years ago. So again, we have to sort of wade through the conceptual idea. I'm a car enthusiast and I've been to tons of auto shows and I've seen this beautifully aerodynamic, sleek machine. And I'm like, oh, I cannot wait till it comes out. And then, 4 or 5 years later, 6 years when it comes out, it's, a chiseled rectangular Lego block truck, right? So I'm just, sorry. But it's concept and it's great. But, I like to when things come to market, that's when I really like to get involved in the emotional side of, wow, do we need to step our game up? Or, wow, here's our combat to that tech or whatever. So anyway, all right, that was my 2 cents. That was my soapbox.
I just want to. Who's having audio issues?
Oh, I see. Yep, major latency issues. Interesting.
Uh-oh. That was a minute ago.
Okay, hold on. John, if I do something that completely, I know you guys can't hear John, but John, if I do something that completely disconnects me and I reconnect, forgive me.
Well, whose audio? Are we broken? Are we down? Oh, got it. And Larry left. Here's his one per show where he just leaves. Am I continuing? I don't know what's happening. Can they hear me? Can people hear me? All right, cool. All right. Well, I will proceed here. I do want to make a comment about this. People bringing up the question about the leak regarding our models for next year. Somebody had specifically asked me, if I could confirm anything on it. Larry's back. Welcome back. Hi. So to catch you up very quickly, so there's a lot of talk about the leak that came out. And I was just mentioning that I was specifically asked, is there anything I can confirm or deny about it? I literally have just avoided it altogether. I have not seen it for a particular reason. I don't trust what it's going to be because sometimes people like to, make things a little interesting. You got to mute, bro. Yeah, good. Okay. I hate hearing my voice. Oh, it's John. Oh, so nobody else could hear that. Now I'm just going to sound crazy. All right, cool. Yay. But yeah, I purposely avoided it. I haven't actually seen any of it, so I can't confirm or deny anything because I don't know actually what's on it. But I am kind of seeing what's going on in the conversation here. I would take it with a grain of salt that it is not 100% guaranteed. And this person, even if they do have a decent track record, may not be correct. So you'll have to wait and see for yourselves. So hold off on any judgments until you actually hear something announced from us.
Yeah.
Pro tip, I guess. I did see from POC Angel, welcome back. Please, we need a Sony QD OLED 77-inch this year or I'm going to die. Either way, please don't let that be what is going to end things. We can't let that happen. We can't let that happen. So don't let it get don't let it be that extreme for you.
Yeah. Is 77A95L not an option? Just asking for a friend?
Well, I believe I want to say, and correct me if I'm wrong, POC Angel has been asking a lot about, like, prior to CES, like, what are you guys going to show? A95M, like that whole thing, like kind of waiting. Is it worth waiting or not? Kind of a thing. So,
gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. FOMO said he's going to call to verify the statement around the leak to see if it's accurate or not.
Yeah, FOMO, hit us up and let us know what you find out.
Yeah.
if you're okay,
especially if you know who this person is.
Yeah.
All right.
Would love that.
So DS mentioned it is a bug. All right, we'll take a look at that DS regarding the A95L and the it was a Voice Sim 3, right? Make sure I have my notes right. Yes, Voice Sim 3. Okay.
Yes.
Cool. Let's see.
Where else are we? Let's see. That's always hilarious. Nobody can hear that but us.
Is that John?
That's of course.
Going crazy.
Yeah.
All right. Apologies for the audio issues that apparently we had. I was not aware of that until last minute, but those of you who had that issue, sorry about that. Hippie Days made it to a live show. Yeah. Happy 2025. Same to you as well. And everybody else that's here. Again, let us know if you have any questions here, and we'll do our best to answer everything that we can. All right, we got one here. Hi, guys. I have 2 Sony TVs with Sony Pictures Core credits. Is it possible to use them and watch movies on both TVs instead of just the one where I redeem the credits? I know you have some experience on that, Larry. Go ahead.
I do. 2 things. As long as you log in using the same account, you should have access to any redeemed movies across all of your TVs that support Sony Pictures Core. Now, if you log in with the same login and you find that either your content library is not the same or your credits aren't usable or the same, send us an email and we will give you the contact information to reach out to at Sony Pictures that can resolve that issue. We've supported a couple of people in getting that rectified. But yeah, you would need things like your login username, not password, but your username, and the TV models that you have. And then we can help facilitate that. But let us know if you're experiencing that.
Nice.
Cool. Should travel with you. Mm-hmm.
Yes, they should. I was able to actually do that myself on 2 TVs that I have. They're actually sharing the credits and what I have actually already redeemed as well. So it should be pretty simple, but if you have any issues, let us know. Send us an email. And I think that's pinned. Looks like it's pinned. So it should be good.
Yeah, should be.
All right. Rusty says he got a pair of Sony MDR Z1R headphones for Christmas. Any thoughts? I've not had the chance to try them, but I bet they're amazing. Just my thoughts on it. Oh, Larry, you got anything to add on that one?
No.
No? Okay. What was that?
I don't know what that was. It's okay.
You're really shaking your head there.
I know. It's 2025. Sorry.
Yeah, it's too early. Too early in the day. Too early in the year. All right.
Let's
see. Supposedly that somebody came from the leak came from a regulatory office. Supposedly. It's all supposedly, isn't it? All right, Lyle. What are Sony's plans with HDMI 2.2 upgrade? New hardware on models, utilize new cables with current HDMI 2.1 ports. Here's what I can say. You'll have to wait and see what we do. But I will also say this too, because I know HDMI 2.2 is extremely new. And I still haven't had the time to really dive into all the nuances of what it has to offer. But the stuff that I did see on it, I don't really see much of a current benefit for our current way of enjoying content. Maybe I'm wrong, because again, I haven't fully dived into it, but I know higher resolutions, higher frame rates. But again, we don't have devices with 8K playing capability that I know of. Like, anyway, it's streaming if you're lucky. But I mean, I guess if you were creating that content in 8K, that might be a different story. Higher bandwidth, higher frame rates. Really, PC is the only thing that really goes above the current frame rates, aside from, some consoles if you're doing 1440 or something like that, I believe. But I don't think any of it is really going to change much. Oh yeah, FOMO said they're pointless for TVs. Yeah. At this point, we'll see in the future it's different, but it does open up more bandwidth for more potential innovations in the future. So that is a good thing. But utilization in the near future, I don't know.
Well, get ready for it to be a talking point, even if it has utilization or not, right? It's gonna end up on somebody's checkbox as to why. Anyway, too real.
Yeah. Let's see. MG, is HDA9 considered to have received end of software support? Any stability related updates would be appreciated. Typically, what they'll do, if you're ever curious about that on any of your Sony products, you can go to the Sony support website. And I think that's probably what you're doing. I'm about to do the same as well. And you can actually pull up your model number and go to downloads. And if it is something that is no longer supported with future firmware, it will probably say that there. So I see that on like really old TVs and sometimes really old Blu-ray players as well. But I'm still trying to see.
Yep, it's slow loading.
Yeah, I have too much going on here. I probably should have.
I think
like 50
minutes. I should have just used this other computer right here. But whatever.
Yeah. I'll have to get back on that one.
Yeah, I got you. There is no, so right now there's no notification of end of software support. The last firmware update that was available, this is good for me to know because I haven't done it, was June 24th, 2024. That was the last firmware or software update. So, nice. But nothing we do, to Derek's point, we will post a end of software support on that page to let you know a date will no longer be updating.
Yep. Very nice. DS has a pretty good question here. What happened to the big giveaway competition? Did it actually take place? As I can't remember it happening. Not that I can. I don't know. Remember what happened yesterday. Yes. I'm with you. Oftentimes I have no idea what happened yesterday, but yeah, that is actually still in process. We actually did start to compile some of the products that are going to be a part of this sweepstakes. Is that the right term for it?
Sweepstakes is the legally approved terminology.
Legally approved terminology. So it's going to happen once we reach 100,000 subscribers, which we are heading towards that a lot faster than we have. In the last like 2 months than we had the prior like 6 to 8 months. So we're on a good track. We're actually kind of anticipating. What do you think?
First week February. I'm betting on by February 7. That's my bet.
Nice.
If I'm allowed to bet.
Yeah. Well,
we're hoping to have a formal announcement Friday. God, now I'm gonna have to live up to that. We're hoping to have a formal announcement that's 2 days from now, isn't it?
Yeah.
By next week, we'll have a formal announcement posted in form of a video that will give you all the information that you guys need with respect to terms and conditions, more detailed outline of all the products that will be involved in the sweepstakes, and it will be posted on our channel here. So notification bells, subscribe, all of those good things. And yeah, it'll be cool. Got a lot of stuff to give away.
Cool. Yeah. It's going to be good. I'm very much looking forward to that for sure. Will Tech, 2-part question. Wouldn't be a live stream without bringing up the A95L firmware in Europe. So we'll start with that part. So I did get a couple of emails over the last couple of weeks, and I did reach out to JT, and he is reaching out because I don't have direct contacts. JT's way up there. He's better than me. And he hasn't received any information himself to share with me. So still don't have any updates to share on that. I do apologize. But as soon as I get anything, I know that we have a big audience that's definitely wondering. Second, any tidbits of info on what is still being worked on for A95L? Please, fixes? I actually do not know. That's an interesting question. They don't really include us in any of those things issues that they're looking at, updates they're trying to implement. We're not really part of any of those conversations. Sometimes we've been teased with, oh, there's a thing coming out, but I've not heard anything in particular on that. So
we may even speculation. We may have reached that point in its firmware cycle where now we're working on improving HDR performance, improving those things like our TVs normally go through. I know that the primary objective was to bring A95L in line with like Bravia 9, from a software standpoint and a feature set. And then everything after that would be, let's continue to build on top of that and constantly work towards improving PQ after it's in your home. So,
yep. Cool. I'm going to throw this out now. Let's start to wrap up. We're at our 30 minutes. And I do have to get my daughter soon after that. I don't know why. Hopefully you can't hear it. My dog is going nuts. I have no idea. Oh, that means everybody.
I hear, but I don't think they can hear.
I hope not. I'm so sorry if you can. I don't know. It's like 4 degrees outside, so he doesn't want to go outside very long, and so then he needs to keep going out all day. I don't know why he's going nuts. Anyway,
that's crazy.
So let's see. Where did I see it? Oh yeah, Daz made a comment. I just have to bring it up just because it is a great comment. Yeah, 2.2 will be the next debate of having 4 2.2 ports. LOL. Yeah, you are not wrong, my friend, for sure. But we'll get to that when we get to that. So, POC Angel says, I live in Spain and A95L 77 inches out of stock. Sadly, my friends. Yes, that is sad.
It's a hot one.
Yeah, I can only hope for the fall. Wow, the fall. And I don't really know what sort of market that's like. I'm sorry to hear that. I hope you're able to grab something, or see what we announce and go from there too. Let's see. James says, "Hi, thanks for joining us. I have a Sony 790 receiver, and I'm thinking of upgrading the Sony AN1000 for center channel enhancement and phantom speakers. Wondering if Sony has any plans for new receivers at this price. Haven't heard anything. What do you think, Larry? I have speculation, but."
Yeah, I don't think. Look, I am guessing. I swear I don't know, and I'm okay if I'm wrong. But if you think about at that price point in the life cycle, it would take some serious hardware, usable hardware innovation for us to come out with something new. If you think about the 1080 receiver, and I don't know how long the 1080 was around. It seems like that thing was around for a decade, but it was around. The 1080 was around as long as it took for HDMI 2.1 to come out and be a usable thing, right? And then AN1000, and so you can buy AVR with confidence because AVR is not on a 12-month replenish change model number cycle. You can buy AVR with a audio video receiver with confidence. So I would get the 1000. I would definitely get the AN1000.
Yeah, it is a great receiver, especially for the price. And that I think FOMO said it really well. 4 to 5 year cycle is kind of good for AVRs because there hasn't really been a drastic change in the technology, and when that doesn't happen, there's really no need to necessarily upgrade it. Sound, generally speaking, is a little bit slower in its advancements just because, there's, I don't know why.
And I think the AN1000 introducing connectivity with wireless rear and wireless sub is a major sort of a change from previous generations. And like, what's next? All wireless component audio? Yeah, I'm not trying to throw that out there, but like a quad, but an AVR quad, which you would call a 7. Anyway, we're a ways away from something like that. So yeah, AN1000 would be a great purchase.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. Let's see. Junior says, "Wake me for HDMI 3.0." I'm gonna be sleeping for a while, my friend. Especially when are you gonna have 6 ports of that? Yeah. Let's see. POC Angel, what are your thoughts on an 83-inch QD OLED panel? Too expensive to make? Too many new technologies? Too interesting coming that are more competitive? More stuff that's more competitive. I mean, my thoughts, I don't know what the manufacturing, cost and situation is for that. And obviously, there aren't as many manufacturers for that type of technology, so it's still limited there as well. But there is sort of that exponential increase in cost of the panels when you go to the larger sizes. And I'm not really familiar with the cost of all that stuff, but it's not cheap. I can tell you that much. And as far as new technologies, there's always stuff that's sort of being teased and being worked on in the background. But obviously, the question always comes down to how practical will it be, and how soon, especially for technology that some companies have been talking about for the last 5 years. That still is sort of like, yeah, no, that's not practical for somebody to buy that for their house, at least for the average consumer. So, yeah, we're gonna have to kind of wait and see. But I know there will be something awesome.
Oh yeah,
in the future, whatever it is.
There will be. Future is bright.
Let's see. What else do we got?
Let me see. So Ronan mentioned his AZ 5000 ES is fine, but he was never able to get it connected to the Music Center. The Music Connect app or Google Home. Music Connect, Music Center, or Sound Connect. I just want to make sure because AZ 1000 will work through Music Center app. When I talk about these apps out loud, I really start to feel silly, the number of apps that we haven't quite got all under one umbrella yet, but we're working on it. But AZ 1000 should work with Music Center app, but not Sound Connect app. Should. I don't own an AZ. I'm sorry, it was a weird pause, but I don't own an AZ 5000. As far as it working with Google Home, I don't think any of my network-enabled AVRs connected with Google Home. I would have to go back and try. I'm sorry.
I can't think of any offhand.
Yeah.
Let's see. Whoa, my screen went weird. Where did that question go? Was there any mention of, at CES of Sony's possible future plans to release a set of AR glasses of their own? We know they make the micro LED displays for many brands of glasses now. So we did show the Zin headset or head-mounted display, which is really more for professional use at this state. It's still in development as far as its purpose, but it's designed around spatial content creation is really what it's designed for. So they are working with a lot of different partners for what is the potential use cases of it. But we were demonstrating some manipulation of some objects within the 3D space, which isn't a new concept, but obviously just the potential of what this could become in conjunction with some of the other Zin concepts they have going on. So we'll have to see what that becomes in the future. But they were using OLED micro displays, 4K OLED micro displays in those. Let's see. Will Tech, great question. Out of curiosity, do you guys read or look through any of the online forums that talk about your TVs to see what issues the community is having? So I'll let you answer. I'm going to answer very quickly. I don't have the time, but obviously we get a lot of emails of people emphasizing certain things. I'm trying to find a way to kind of condense that process for me versus searching for it to get updates. I have some ideas. Hopefully I can have it automated for me. But we do have our Sony community forum as well, which part of our team actually manages that as well. So they are constantly looking at that information and that feedback. I don't know, Larry, what your thought is on that.
Dude, I'm going to do a shameless plug. I would love to move the audience from a lot of those forums to our platform here, because sometimes typing, right, just from us responding to something, and then you wait 2-3 days, and then you go back, and that's the challenges, Derek, that you're talking about, that you have. Being able to hop on like our platform here and be able to have some live organic discussions for things that we do know about would be great. We know that some of the information that you all share here and bring up, or even our emails, have referenced and linked some of these posts that exist on these different sites and platforms. So yeah, we are aware of those conversations, and we have incredible people like FOMO that also challenges us on some of those things. So we're aware of the big issues, but not every single detail and living in there. It can be a dark place in some of those forums. Really dark.
Yeah. And I get it. Like, the thing that's interesting though is, it's the problem with somebody sort of having this one issue and somebody saying, oh, that is a problem. And then people start to relate that, oh, it's more people having a problem because more people are talking about it, when it is a very small case in some circumstances. I get it. There are sometimes issues that need to be taken care of. Yes. But we want to know about all of it so that we can share that with the people, so that we can find out if it's an issue or if it's something that's sort of taken out of context. So you guys are absolutely welcome to hop in here, ask these questions, send us an email. I've had some people actually share links to specific, Reddit posts or AVS forum or wherever they happen to find it, and say, this is what's happening. Here's the evidence. Here's a link. Mm-hmm. That stuff is so invaluable, because the faster we can share details with the team, the faster they can try to replicate to determine if it's an issue or not and how to proceed. So I do appreciate the question. But yes, I intend to do better, I guess, that I can to try to do that. I just need to find a more efficient way to do it. But I love that.
I've got two questions.
Go ahead. I'm writing down some stuff.
That's cool. Well, the first one I'm going to throw your way, and I'll take the second one. But John, we're going to do a back-to-back with POC Angel. First question, Derek. What is the best Sony headphones to watch a film at home? Best audio when my kids are sleeping and I can't use my home cinema setup.
Throw that one at me, huh?
Yeah, I felt like that'd be an easy one for you.
No, it's, I mean, obviously there are specific tastes, and it kind of depends on if you're going wired versus wireless. Because if you want to do something that's going to be the ultimate, technically speaking, you would get something that can actually convert, or that can actually connect optical and convert and amplify and get like super high-end premium ones. Probably not the answer that you're looking for. But realistically, I use the Theater U, which isn't headphones. It's the neckband speaker, which that I use literally every night. But if you're looking for something that is more closed, really the WH-1000X Mark IVs or the WH-1000X Mark Vs, both would probably do very well. The 5s do sound a little bit clearer, and they do a little bit better for noise canceling as well. So if that's really important, that would be the way to go. But honestly, you really can't go wrong. So
that's exactly what I expected you to say. Because we've spoken so much about it, and you really speak glowingly about both of those options, that you've used both of them and made videos about it. But I thought that'd be kind of cool. The second one was directed at me. And POC Angel says, Larry, what do you think the advantages are of the Sony Bravia 9 versus the A95L? Well, that's easy. First, I don't have the A95L, but I have the A95K. But the backlight control on the Bravia 9 is absolutely stunning. And I say that because from a cinematic expression, when I'm watching darker movies or whatever, I have so much backlight control within my settings, whether I'm utilizing the Bravia Cam to automatically adjust using Ambient Optimization Pro 2, or if I have manual settings that are either done at basis or in the moment, I can make the TV as dark, as moody, and as rich as possible. But in my Bravia 9 is in my office, but in my office with these windows that are in the front of my office is in front of my house, and the sun goes back to the front of my house for a frame of reference. I get about 4 hours of direct beaming sunlight with zero trees blocking the way. And having the Bravia 9 in here with all of its super high bright searchlight brightness and nits, I have flawless viewing of this. Now, the A95L is no slouch with respect to how it handles bright rooms. I think it handles it amazingly. But from a true contrast range part when you're thinking about peak brightness versus absolute darkness. I can get a broader range of brightness or darkness level. I think that I can achieve within the Bravia 9 than with the A95L. That's just my personal opinion and preference. I right now, if someone says you can give back your Bravia 9 and take an A95L, I would respectfully decline. But that is based upon my viewing situation and the content that I use. So hopefully that helps.
Yeah, I just want to make a quick comment because you're right. One of the things that people get lost in when we talk about TV technology and they say contrast, they think black level. End it there. You know, like, oh, the best contrast is an OLED, but contrast is a range. And obviously that is a benefit that mini LED has, is the ability to get substantially brighter. So your range can technically be larger depending on what you're comparing, obviously. So just wanted to share that.
Great point. Let's go for the trifecta. POC Angel, our hypothetical, I love it, hypothetical, you see, you're taking my words. Are hypothetical 2025 TVs from Sony already done? Or do they adapt after seeing how CES plays out and then changes some things?
Wow. I don't know if
I don't know what we can safely say. Okay, yeah, that's probably a good idea. Okay, I think this is safe to say this. On average, this is not Sony. On average, most TV manufacturers begin looking into or R&D on a product some 3 years and almost in some cases 5 years before they're set to release. Okay, that's an industry thing. So, are there changes that can be made based upon whatever? I think it's safe to say, yeah, but assuming that hardware is not the limitation. There's adaptations that we've added to TVs with respect to firmware update years after the TVs have come out. Now, whether at launch a TV has a particular feature that we felt was important to include because of something that happened in January, I don't know. I can't say yes or no, but that doesn't mean that we don't learn from not what other people are doing from a manufacturing standpoint, but what consumers are more looking for or gravitating towards. And if we have ways to implement or add those changes, adjustments, or add-ons to the TV from a software perspective, we'll always do that. And that's regardless of life cycle. I like to always refer back to how far we went back with adding, game menu. How those of you all who enjoy Sony Pictures Core, last year we expanded multiple generations where that app now became available, where it at one point was just exclusive to K series, L series, and the current lineup. So little things like that we'll always try to do after the fact. But that's, I think, as far as I can go. Most of the production is already decided upon years in advance.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That is sort of the benefit of, being able to update firmware and stuff like that as changes come in, if the hardware allows for it. Kind of the opposite of like games when they come out and then they're like, ugh, half the game doesn't work, but we'll get you a patch in a week. Like,
yeah,
a little bit different for this.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's see. So yeah, kind of hitting, because we do have to wrap up here. So a couple things. So people asking about my dog. Yes, it's a real dog. I did have Ibo for a little while. Yes, 2 of them. I don't know about having it talk with, that would be a little creepy. That's sort of, I think that's been, at least there should be a version of like a horror movie with that, especially if they made it a dog. I'm sure that's, somebody's probably working on that right now. Ibo, it would be so cute. Ibo's awesome. Just sharing, and it has not been forgotten. I don't really know what's coming up in the future for it, but keep an eye out, because yeah, it's still around. Let's see. What else did we miss? There's a lot of stuff here. Oh, I did want to make a comment. Chris mentioned he'd love to see, where is that comment? He would love to see this with car audio products, I believe is what he said. I don't know where that comment is. Oh, there it is. Cool to do one of these with some car audio product stuff. Yes, I agree. We should try to do that.
I agree. It would be. Yep. Yeah,
That might be on
especially because car audio is a big part of the sweepstakes. If you guys didn't
Mhm.
already know that, yeah, that probably would make really good sense. Yeah, great stuff.
Luca's joined us. Welcome. Good to
What's
have you
up,
here.
Luca? Yeah.
Let's see. Where else are we at? Oh, guys, I have an issue with voice recitation of every action taking. I can't turn it off. It's a Sony Smart TV. Isn't that the most annoying thing in the world when you're trying to turn it off and you don't know where to find it? Are you able to throw your TV on there, Larry, or do you want me to check on mine?
What are we asking for? I'm sorry.
Oh,
I was reading the comment.
it's the what is that called? The talkback. Yeah,
Oh,
it's
how
in
to
the
turn it
settings.
off?
It is in the settings. Can you
Yeah,
pull it up? Okay, cool.
I
All right,
can't
yeah.
pull it up, but I can walk through it. I can't share it. I don't have it linked. In order to control the talkback feature, you'll hit the God, I'm not gonna even try it. The wrench button on your remote, depending on what year, but to bring up quick settings, and you're looking for is
Should be an
it talkback
accessibility, I
has
think.
its yeah, I'm trying to remember if talkback has its own. Give me a second. So I want to see if it has its own where you can add.
Oh,
Sorry.
its own quick
It does.
quick.
It
Oh, it
does.
does.
Yep. It
Nice.
does. If you go to your quick settings and go all the way to edit at the very end, and you'll get another set of menus that aren't pre-selected to be options in quick setting. All of the subcategories or subsettings of accessibility are all there individually, and you can add it. I'm looking at it right now. I've got accessibility, talkback, text magnification, screen reader, color inversion, grayscale mode, and then eco dashboard. It's kind of the bookend right there. Adding that to your quick settings will allow you to toggle on, toggle off, or remove altogether, if you will. So yeah, does that answer the
Nice.
question? Yeah,
I think so. So
I knew I
thanks.
should have
So,
set up the TV. I knew
but
it.
if you have issues, send us an email. We can send you the link to get that taken care of. So, and if you do send the email, just let us know exactly what model you have, just so we can make sure it's kind of tailored to your model TV that you have.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. And we're gonna start wrapping up here. Hippie days. I love having these events and going off talking with friends, sounding super smart on TV tech. Yeah, we try, but yeah, it's good to have you here. We appreciate it. This is quite a chatty group today, and I do love that. It is
I
some
love
good
it.
back and forth. So I appreciate all of you guys for being here. Thank you so much. And just gonna plug this out there too. If you have not subscribed, please do, because we are going to do these pretty much weekly as our plan. The bigger show once a month. We're always coming out with new videos to tell you what's coming up, how to do things, whatever you need. Just keep us in the loop of what you're thinking about Sony, what you'd like to see, and that's what we want to kind of share that with the TV teams and the headphone team and audio team and all the different teams that we have, and share that with them. So, but that also goes into, once we hit that 100,000 subscriber, we will have a sweepstakes as well.
There it is.
Get some cool stuff.
So Luca, quick. So I want to touch on this because Luca and FOMO are having a conversation regarding the ambient light sensor and all that. Here's what I want to do, because I haven't looked at my settings on Ambient Optimization Pro in a while, probably after I plugged in the camera. But there are some things I want to dig into that I think may be kind of cool, and we can save for another show, Derek, maybe next week. But there's a setting when you have auto adjust with camera, because it's obviously utilizing the Bravia cam. But there's a setting for adjust for reflections, which is very intriguing to me, right? So our descriptive information on there says adjusts the balance between light and dark within the picture according to the ambient light conditions to reduce poor visibility caused by glare. I'm very interested to see, because this appears to be more of a software-driven thing versus the X anti-glare or X anti-reflection technology on the Bravia 9. That's a hardware implement. So I want to dig into that, and probably next week talk a little bit about some of the different Ambient Optimization Pro settings, and I'll connect to my TV and look at them. So cool. All right. Sorry.
You're always sorry for answering a question. It's not like that's what you're here for.
It's the rambling. I ramble. I'm a
I got to address this one because the third time it's come up. Hey,
Okay.
unlock second sub for quad. So we have shared that. Yes, 100% behind you on that one. Not just the quad, but just to be able to do that in the future would be pretty awesome. So we have shared that feedback. So, but I saw you. I apologize. We missed it the first 2 times. I'm sorry. All right. So let's see. Where did this go? There was one I saw. Hey, hi guys. It's from Tony. I own an A95K. I'd like to see an A95M. Well, let's see what happens this year. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Hello. Again, the comment says hello. For the Bravia Theater Quad, what is recommended distance and height for both rears and front?
Okay.
I actually did look into this, and I actually found some details on that of recommended, not required. Distance, it's your typical viewing distance. So like you don't want to have them in like a 20-foot room, like 20 feet away, but in that 8 to 12-foot range is a good space. And roughly as far as height, you want to have them sort of, ideally you should be kind of matched up with your TV. I know it's different when people have their TV mounted, it's different, but to get the best sound from picture, it would be roughly the mid height of the TV, maybe slightly lower. And then for the rears, it's really sort of like that mid height to where your seating level is. So kind of like as if you put it in front of your face, kind of mid height to your ears. So if possible,
not required. Let me ask you this.
Calibrate. Yes. Hi.
Does that change if you have the ability to use acoustic center sync where the TV is your center channel? Does that alter any of the, especially the front speakers, the height or
I didn't see anything in some stuff that I saw about like the recommendations specifically for that. Being that it does calibrate itself, you should get a very accurate sound if you run through that process. So you should be fine in almost any room. Obviously, there are some weird situations, but standard kind of setup with left and right of the TV and, behind you and not super far, way off should be good.
Yep. That's a good thing. I'm 8 feet away from my fronts and they are about 7 feet apart. Is kind of how I have mine configured, and you can kind of see I just have these are just kind of behind me in 2 different heights. At some point, I'm going to actually put them in a real room, but I love it so much I keep it in where I'm at the most, which is my office. You covered it, Derek.
Nice. Well, we got to start wrapping up because I got to get ready to get out to get my daughter at the bus stop.
Let's rapid fire a couple. Let's see. Junior says, I just want Sony to restore the full calibration controls and selectable smooth gradation on 2025 Bravia 8. That's a thing. And increase the full frame brightness to 192. Okay. Candelas, right? That is, right?
Candles per meter squared.
Yeah. Junior, what would be you? So with that, what would be interesting for you is like Calman calibration, maybe, wow, FOMO can probably dive all into this, but like that level of calibration, control, and unlocking, like I know obviously there's hardware elements that you have to purchase from a light meter and so on and so forth, but our TVs play very nice with the Calman software, and it is such an easier process of calibrating if you really want that level of detail and accuracy. It's definitely something to consider. POC Angel, what size TV do you guys recommend? 3.5 meters away with respect to viewing distance, about 11.1 feet. Thank you for the conversion. 11.1 feet away. I'm not the person to ask.
I think
75 inch.
I mean, you really could probably go even bigger because
you could.
Yeah, I mean, I think FOMO pretty much put in 110 to 120 because it's sort of what is it, like 10 inches per foot
10 for
of
every,
for 4K resolution though, I think is the difference on that though too. But that's typically what we're getting now as well, because obviously if you have a smaller TV, you're just getting a higher pixel density, so you're just getting super sharp. But there will be a point where you can't perceive the difference. But
I was 8 feet away from the 85 Z9K in a completely dark room. That was wow. It was much. For me, imagine. With that amount of brightness, it was much. Yes. Yeah.
All right.
I think
anything else to wrap up? I will say this: if we missed your question or did not answer it to the extent of what you were looking for, please send us an email. We'll do our best to do that, as well as you can comment after the video, after the live, essentially when you have the video. Well, we can reply there and actually reply to you, so you get a notification that we responded, which is always good.
I got to touch on one more thing, Derek.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Sorry. Because great conversation between Junior and Michael Beckerman regarding matte finishes on screen. Just an important point. Our commercial applications utilize a matte finish because the number one request in the commercial environment is glare, how it handles glare, anti-reflection, and things of that nature. PQ, color accuracy, and things like that are secondary in that request. In the home or our consumer-based products, PQ leads the way in our development, and we understand how there is a degradation in color accuracy with respect to the texture of the screen, as some of you all may have seen in some TVs last year. So anyway, that's just the biggest difference between our commercial applications and our residential or more at-home applications. So there it is.
Cool. Awesome. Let's see. One last thing that popped up. Does OLED use less power in dark scenes? Unless I'm wrong, pretty much every TV will use less power in darker scenes because they're just not pumping through as much energy. And pixels can actually be turned off just as in an LED. It can actually just not use as much power. So yes, all around.
Yep.
So,
and I know FOMO had a chance to see. We did a power distribution meters or whatever on our TVs, and content has a ton to do with it. But I'd be remiss if I didn't say identical content on our 2024 TVs compared to 2023 gave lower output. And if I'm not mistaken, we had a mini LED deliver equal or less power consumption than an OLED, which was a big thing for us. I'm just trying to remember. It seems like forever ago. But anyway, so
we're doing a lot. There's a lot of improvements and efficiencies that they're working on as well. So we'll be interested to see where that goes as time goes on. And I want to thank everybody for being here. Apologies that we do have to cut it short a little bit longer than we always anticipate, which is good because it is driven by you guys, and appreciate every single one of you for being here. Is my hair whiter than last year? Yeah, probably. It's a lot going on, especially after CES. We appreciate everybody being here, and let us know if there's anything we can do to support and spread the word. If there's other people that you are running into, especially on forums where you're finding this information, you want to share and say, hey, you can share it directly with us. We can definitely share the information. We have been sharing a lot of information with the business groups. So answering questions is stressful, yes, especially when you're live. All right. So that's anything you got, Larry, before we go?
Oh, come on, man. I'm quiet. I have nothing to say.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go see where my dog has managed to bark consistently for like half an hour. And I apologize if people could hear it. I don't know what's going on with that. He's
I appreciate everybody being here. That's all good.
Yes. Thank you so much. Be good to each other. Take care of yourselves. Be good. Happy New Year. And join us next time.
Yep.
Spread the word. We'll see you soon.
Peace.